I want to talk about how to copyright high converting emails for your Shopify store. This is after over 3 years of trial and error with email marketing. This is the exact system that we found that works the best. My name is Zach Schiefer. I'm the founder of ZHS Ecom, currently helping our clients do a combined $2 million per month from email and SMS alone across 20 plus clients served so far. This is going to be super applicable if you're running a brand, if you're running an agency, or if you're a freelancer. Most of our clients use Klaviyo as their ESP. However, this is going to apply to any email sending platform. Basically, we have a 3-step process that I'm going to walk through in this video. We want to talk about why the modern copywriter, and specifically ones at ZHS Ecom, need to be way different than copywriters of the past, and how ours are different and what that role entails. Then we're going to get into the actual deliverables, so the perfect email template, our exact SOP and format. And then, pretty fun section here, the whole fact that your customer is checking their emails while they're on. I'm going to redact it out here. And then we also have some bonus tips at the end. All right, getting into things. The modern email copywriter. As a copywriter, you're an email strategist as well. At ZHS Ecom, our copywriters own the entire process. They're actually designing the entire customer journey, not just putting words on a screen. Because a lot of times what happens is people have two separate roles. They have the email strategist and they have the copywriter. And one person understands the strategy aspects of things. The other person is just doing the actual words on the screen. And especially with what's available right now, it's so easy to have excellent copy if you have the right tools and you combine both of these roles, where you're a copywriter and an email strategist and you understand email marketing strategy holistically. You brainstorm the ideas. You're the one that's planning the content calendar. You're working with the decision makers of the brand. You're actually implementing and writing the copy, and you're working directly with the designers to make sure those ideas are implemented correctly. So that's what the role looks like. They're doing everything, and most importantly, they're understanding email strategy holistically. We also want to use AI to work smarter and harder, but not necessarily harder. So in 2024, you don't need to be David Ogilvy to write great email copy. There's tools like Claude, ChatGPT, Grammarly, etc. And copy is easier than ever to write. And if you have a great system like what I'm about to share with you here, it's so easy to write great copy, assuming that you have, again, that right system in place. What matters more is understanding the bigger picture, how each email fits within each of the flows, how the campaigns are structured and how they connect to each other, and how to drive real revenue growth. And so in the end, as an email copywriter and strategist, you're able to do more work in a quicker amount of time and actually focus on what's going to move the needle rather than sitting there typing out every single word and just using your creative juices to the max. You can instead use your creative juices to look more holistically and build out that strategy versus doing the nitty-gritty of the copy work. We like to put everything into what's called a project within Claude. We have custom instructions, we have text from the client's website, we have everything they could possibly give the AI as background information. So the onboarding forms, the client feedback, previously approved and scheduled emails, instructions on how to be a good copywriter. And we'd basically take a prompt and give it a bunch of instructions that are super clear and direct. And we continually improve this process over time. And the thing is, modern AI tools, they can do that first 60 or 70% of the work. They can get copy that's going to be a 6 out of 10. And then the copywriter is going to bring it from a 6 out of 10 to a 10 out of 10 by adding that human element to things. And so overall, this is the AI framework. We want to have not garbage going in so that we don't get garbage out. Garbage in, garbage out. The quality of AI's output entirely depends on the input. And so that's why we have so much that we do on the input side, and that is how we get great output. So we use AI for the initial draft. So we use it for creative brainstorming, and we're looking at successful past emails. Then we actually prompt it and get the output, but then we're continually refining that output, fixing the merge tags and variables, removing obvious AI language, making it a lot more human, as we can see here in step 3, adding some personality and humor, and overall, we're just stretching our creativity further. So with the AI, we're focusing on speed and quality. And so we want to create prompt templates that are reusable. We overall just want to be very leveraged with this. We want to have great outputs for reference. We want to build up that swipe file of high converting emails, and we're continually refining our process. And so with our copywriters, it's not writing everything from scratch. It's being the strategic editor who ensures every single piece of copy is at a 10 out of 10 level. So we take these frameworks, we make them our own, and over time, the copywriter is the one that's developing a system using tools like AI that allow you to produce high quality copy. And our goal is under 30 minutes per email, so we can really focus on both speed and quality within our copywriting. So, perfect email structure. I want to get into more the nitty gritty of what the emails look like, what our templates look like, what our campaign calendars look like. So let's dive in. The most important thing that I always emphasize is talking about the first fold. It's what people see without scrolling, and it's going to determine the rest of your email. It's going to determine the success of your email based on what's in this first fold. So it's roughly these sections here. You can see these are all great examples of optimized hero headers, optimized first folds. So you have in every single example, you have a logo, you have a very clear headline that you can read in 0.2 seconds. You have an offer, if applicable, you're gonna have your discount code, like you can see here on the left, or in this one right here. You have the hero image, something to make it interesting. And then you have your CTA button at the top here. And I see this all the time. People have maybe 4 out of 5 of these elements in the hero header, but they put their CTA like way down below. They put their button way down below. And it massively decreases conversion rates. And it's just missing that one little thing that messes up the rest of the email and very much lowers your conversions. So with in doubt, we use a template like this where, you have a logo, you have some header, you have some subheader. If there's a code, you put it like that. And then you have a product image, but you cannot forget that CTA right there. So the actual copy outline, it's very simple. We don't want to have any sort of fancy formatting, zero friction. We have a clear hierarchy of information. We're specifying what's in the first fold here and what's in the body. We're also adding notes to the designer. We're adding in image suggestions. We're linking things. We have a CTA, but overall, the goal is that we take our Claude or ChatGPT output, we're editing it, doing the tweaks and revisions and things like that. And then we can directly move it into the Google Doc very easily, very simply, without all these boxes and formatting and things like that. You can go in here and you can give some instructions and you can give some examples and things like that. But overall, our goal is speed and quality. And we trust our designers to take what we have here and turn it into a beautiful email like the ones that you see here. Content calendar. This is massively important. We need to get the content approved before writing, or else the client, in most of our cases, are gonna end up wanting a lot of revisions, and they're not gonna have any sort of idea of what products are being featured or what discounts are being featured and things like that. And so it's best for the client, it's best for us. Get this approved first, confirm every single product, every single offer. And you can see here, we have the actual date, whether it's been scheduled or not. We have a column that says, is this a plain text email? Is this a designed email? We have the name of the campaign. We have a very thorough description of that campaign. If there's an offer, we have it in this column here. If there's a certain segment, we're gonna send it to that certain segment right there. The goal of the email is that we can see that in one column. And then we have the specific products featured. We don't say, oh, do this collection over here, or we're very specific about exactly like which SKUs we're featuring. Reason is, if the client doesn't like the color of the product, say it's an apparel brand, and they want to feature the blue shirt and not the red shirt, we want to specify that we're featuring the blue shirt and the orange shirt and the yellow shirt here. We don't want to just say shirts. Trust me, it's way better if you get this approved ahead of time, and then the client knows exactly what's going to be going out. And you like, product swaps kill your process. If you're consistently swapping in and swapping out products, it's going to kill your process. So we need to have these critical details here. And then overall, this is typically how an e-com email is structured. You're going to have your subject line, preview text. Both are going to be under 60 characters. And then your first fold is roughly this section here. So you're going to have some sort of combination of a headline, a subheader, a CTA button, and an image as well as the logo here. It's roughly going to look like this. You can change it up a little bit. You can put this button on the left, or you can put it on the right, or you can have no subheader and just go with the header, or you can make this a little bit longer. But generally, this is the structure. You really need to map this out. Make sure your first fold has all the important information in it. That's our number one golden rule. And then the body, it's going to have something like a subheadline and then a CTA button at the bottom here. And then in the middle, it's some sort of combination. It's roughly one, maybe 1.5 scrolls worth of a mix of a paragraph, throw in an image or 2 or 0, some sort of CTA buttons potentially. Could be a chart, could be a product section, it could be some social proof, etc., etc. But it's something in there that's a very common email element, and you can swap it around, and that's what's going to make your emails unique, and it's what's going to make them stand out. And for the most part, we're going to do a full body like this. However, sometimes you could be creative, you could be unique, and you could just skip this entire thing and pretty much make your entire email this super short section here, maybe have a little bit more copy. You can play around with it, but again, this is the overall just starting place for our emails. And then this is roughly what our footers are going to look like. You're going to have your logo. We like to make live text from their About Us page in this section here. That way, Gmail, Yahoo, Outlook, all those guys can actually read a bit of text within the email. So we like to add that live text with it here. And then we have 1, 2, 3 different buttons, and then some more information about the brand, as you can see there, and then manage preferences and unsubscribe. This is just, in general, our structure. These buttons right here is what we've found is that it massively improves number of clicks. Because if people don't like what's in the email and they just want to go to 1, 2, or 3 options, boom, there you go, you got it. Helps drive up conversion rates if they're just, again, not interested at all in what is above. And the thing is too, we're looking at the top 3 categories or whatever is on the actual nav bar in the client's website. That's what we're putting here. So if you go to prime.com, you would see hydration plus and energy. Those are the top 3 most important sections that they have on their website. Okay, your customer is checking their email while walking to the bathroom, maybe on the toilet. They're not sitting down for a novel. So this is one of the biggest aspects of e-com email marketing that I like to emphasize. Make your copy skimmable, make it super easy to read. People scan your emails. Your job is to make that scanning effortless. So you want to have one clear message, one clear CTA, no competing offers or links. And if you need to say more, put it into 2 or more emails. You need to have, again, one singular goal. Keep it brief, 1 to 2 scrolls max. Get to the point. Don't have a massive wall of text. Break complex messages into multiple emails. We'd rather send 3 short emails rather than 1 long one. We're not doing newsletters here. We have short and concise emails. We're having different touch points, keeping you top of mind, and it allows for just better testing and optimization. Speaking of optimization, we're optimizing for mobile always, just because 60 to 80% of opens are going to be on mobile. So we're looking at large tappable buttons, plenty of white space, and overall there's just, a vibe. There's a feng shui to those emails that you really need to nail. And we're designing for, again, mobile screens first. So if it looks good on mobile, it's going to look good on desktop, but the reverse is not true. So if you need to scroll more than twice, your email is probably too long. Sometimes we do longer emails, but with in doubt, we like to break it up into multiple sends, or we like to shorten up the email. We like to convey information by using charts, infographics, icons, bullet points, before and after images, things like that. You don't actually have to read. You can clearly see here, in this case, this cereal brand is way better than the others. You don't even have to read English. You'd understand that this one's way better by just these icons, and you don't even have to compare the net carbs or whatever. You can clearly see this one is the way better option on all different fronts. There's more ways of conveying information. You have different 1, 2, 3 steps right there. We have a flow chart in this one. This one kind of uses these fun little icons and arrows. And this one right here, we're actually putting in these little icons, these little images of what's in the products, just to show instead of tell. All right, a few bonus tips here. We want to make our emails fun. if you only have a short time period to get someone to click on your email and make a purchase, you want to make it fun. You want to just make it interesting. So I have a few examples here of fun and interesting angles. Remember, if you're not laughing when you read this, if you're not reading it yourself, like why would your customers? You just really want to stand out. There's companies like 1, 2, and 3 here that do really well just with making the copy fun and playful and exciting and interesting to read. We don't want any of this straight up chat GPT garbage that's so boring, so flat. We want to make the emails dynamic and fun and interesting to read. Merge tags and variables. We're always using defaults. So we're using first name. And if they don't have a first name, we're using something like, hey there, hey you, hey friend, hey lip gloss lover, whatever. So just make sure we're testing out these merge tags, these variables here, and we're using personalization as much as possible. Subject lines and preview text, again, going back to making the copy fun and playful. We're keeping things short. We're keeping it under 60 characters. We're keeping it eye-catching, but very clear. The preview text supports the subject line, as you can see with this example. Last chance, 30% off, ends tonight, plus free shipping on all order, like something like that. And here's a few examples just immediately from my inbox that stood out to me that just was interesting. Just play with it, play around with it. Like this one right here, they literally just have an emoji. That's it. This one right here, like all these are just fun, playful, interesting references, different pop culture things, using some emojis sparingly. It's just fun to read, honestly. And then finally here, creating genuine urgency. We want to actually talk about like, when are the products out of stock? When do we literally not have more to sell? Things like that. We don't want to like just use this fake scarcity. Things like countdown timers are always great to use. Use legitimate urgency and have multiple touch points. Every time that we send a sale, we're having multiple touch points and we're looking at that segmentation about who would be potentially interested, who clicked, and sending up follow-ups from there. All right. At this point, if you're running a D2C e-commerce brand, you have two options. You can try to implement everything that I just talked about yourself, or you can simply hire us to help you add revenue. So if you want to go to zhs-ecom.com, you can fill out this form here, take your brand to the next level, add 10 to 35% to your email and SMS revenue in the next 90 days. And we can talk about just a win-win from there, how we can help you guys run up your email marketing revenue. If that's not interesting, feel free to join my newsletter. I got the link in the description. We're going to go through our entire end-to-end email and SMS marketing optimization checklist. You can also find me on all these other platforms here. And with in doubt, I'm actually going to put a video on screen right now that I highly recommend you check out next. It's all about designing your emails, since designing your emails is that second step after you copyright them. So this is a really great video. It's done really well, but it talks about that second step, how to crush it with your email designs.